So Danielle and I started this.
Danielle og jeg, vi startede med det her.
Both as individual speakers.
Som individuelle talere.
And then we realized that having a conversation.
Og så gik det op for os, at fik det hele ind i et andet lys.
And so we started doing that, and we'd like to invite you to overhear the conversation this evening.
Så det begyndte vi at gøre, og vi vil gerne have, at I overhører den her samtale i aften.
So we figured the best way to do that, and this may be uncomfortable, is for you to get to know us a little better.
I kommer til at kende os, lære os at kende lidt bedre.
It's like I hear you over here, and then I hear you over here.
It's like she hears her over here, and then hears me over there.
Det er som om, hun hører mig herover og så samtidig også herover.
This'll be... So what we'll do...
Så det vi gør... Okay.
To make this even more confusing...
For at gøre det her endnu mere forvirrende.
Is you ask me a question...
Så stiller I et spørgsmål til mig.
I'll answer it.
Og så svarer jeg det.
I may or may not be correct.
Og måske har jeg ret.
So anything you'd like to know about Danielle?
Så er der noget, I gerne vil vide om Danielle?
Not all that interested.
De er ikke
Det er slet ikke så interessant.
Sure. Any questions for Danielle? Anything you'd like to know about her?
Er der nogle spørgsmål, noget I gerne vil vide?
In Danish or English? Yeah, fire away. What?
Farve.
Black.
Sort.
It's in there. It's in there.
Det er der. Det er der.
Any other questions for Danielle?
Andre spørgsmål til Danielle?
You can just yell them out. Someone asked her weight.
I går var der nogen, der spurgte om hendes vægt.
So, we like doing this.
Vi kan godt lide at gøre det her.
Just because we are going to get...
Vi gerne vil lære jer at kende i den her uge.
But you'll find the most interesting things out if you ask great questions now.
I vil finde ud af de mest interessante ting, hvis I stiller spørgsmål nu.
So does anybody have a question that they would like to know about Henry?
Så er der nogen, der har noget, de gerne vil vide om Henry?
And I will do my...
Jeg gør mit bedste for at svare, som om jeg er Henry.
Is he a good driver?
Er han en god bilist?
Cars, yes.
Biler, ja.
Motorcycles, eh.
Motorcykler, ikke så meget.
Boats, he's terrible.
Både overhovedet.
One more question.
Et mere spørgsmål.
How many tattoos does he have?
Hvor mange tatoveringer har han?
See if I can do this right. He has 4 tattoos. One under this sleeve.
En under det her ærm.
One under this sleeve.
En under det her ærm.
His wife has a tattoo on that leg.
Hans kone har en tatovering på det ben.
Leg.
Og han har
It's small. It's dainty.
en lille fisk på det ben.
Dainty.
Det ved vi ikke, hvad det betyder.
You didn't translate dainty, did you?
It's slang. Yeah.
My favorite question that we get asked
Mit favoritspørgsmål, som vi har fået,
is, are we married?
er om vi er gift.
And the answer is yes,
Og svaret er ja,
but not to each other.
men vi er ikke gift med hinanden.
In fact, we wrote a book together,
Vi har faktisk skrevet en bog sammen,
and that's how we got to know each other.
og det var sådan, vi lærte hinanden at kende.
But I want to find out a little bit more about your marriage. But
Yep.
first, would you recap last night?
Jeg vil gerne vide lidt mere om dit ægteskab, men kan du ikke lige først fortælle os lidt om det, vi var sammen om i går aftes?
So some of you weren't here last night for our large gathering.
Så nogle af jer var ikke her i går aftes til vores store samling.
And we had a Christ,
Vi havde en god samtale omkring vores identitet og
where we hold the law and the gospel together.
hvor vi holdt loven og evangeliet op imod hinanden.
If you drove here, you might have found that you have a parking ticket.
Hvis I er kørt hertil, så har I måske fundet en parkeringsbøde på jeres bil eller campingvogn i aften.
And it was this beautiful take-home illustration
Og det var en smuk illustration, man kan tage med hjem.
God, we have to hold together the law and the gospel.
Til at minde os om, hvordan vi som holde både evangeliet og loven op.
The ticket reminds us that we exactly how God needs us to be.
Den her lille illustration minder os om, hvordan vi kan gøre hvad som helst, som Gud har brug for, at vi gør.
And there was a beautiful big stamp that said, paid in full, sacrifice for us, and that is who we are.
Og der er et stort stempel, som siger betalt, for at minde os om, at Jesus har betalt.
And so this morning in Bible study, we moved from that, where we put the long gospel together, and how God gives us that name in baptism.
Så her i formiddags, der snakkede vi om vores egen identitet, og hvordan Gud giver os den igennem barnedåben, eller igennem dåben.
So throughout today, we've talked about baptism and living into that. And it's funny that as we talk about marriage, at home I'm a pastor.
Og det er sjovt, når vi taler om ægteskabet. Derhjemme der er jeg en præst.
And I'm amazed how many people get married.
Jeg synes faktisk, det er vildt, hvor mange der bliver gift.
And then learn how to be married.
Skal være gift.
That it's something that is from day one.
At det ikke er noget, det er fra den første dag.
But you learn how to do it.
Men du lærer det undervejs.
And I was wondering,
og jeg har tænkt på,
was there ever a time to learn how to be married, how to live fully into wedded bliss?
Var der nogensinde et tidspunkt, hvor at dig og Paul I skulle lære at være gift?
There was one summer a long time ago,
Der var en sommer for lang tid siden.
and it was a beautiful
Det
summer.
var en smuk sommerdag, og vi var på vej til en fest.
We needed to bring something, like a hostess thing, to contribute to the get-together.
Vi skulle have noget med, sådan en værtindegave til festen.
So Paul was going to run into the store, and we needed 5 groceries.
Så Paul han løb ind til butikken, og han skulle bare lige have 5 ting til det, som vi nu skulle lave.
And I had the opportunity to sit in the car and wait for him.
Så jeg havde en mulighed for at sidde i bilen og vente på ham.
About how much I love my husband.
Og jeg begyndte at tænke på, hvor meget jeg elsker min mand.
Aww.
Og
And I was thinking about how great he is and all these wonderful things that he does for me. Called it.
Og jeg begyndte at tænke på, hvor fantastisk han er, alle de vidunderlige ting, han gør for mig.
And then somehow I had convinced myself that he was going to come out with flowers for me.
Jeg viste mig selv om, at han ville komme ud med blomster til mig.
Were they on the list?
var de på listen?
Nope.
Nej.
So I get this is in a crazy place.
Så det her, det er
I was convinced he was so in love with me.
Jeg var bare overbevist om, at han var fuldstændig forelsket i mig.
That he would be so moved by the flowers in the grocery store.
At han ville være så rørt af at se blomsterne inde i...
Absolutely had to get them for me.
Så han bare var nødt til at give dem til mig.
Because he loves me so much.
Fordi han elsker mig så meget.
Does this translate to your culture?
Kan det her oversættes til jeres kultur? Måske.
My wife does the same thing.
Min kone gør det samme.
Can't win.
So, I'm sitting in the car,
Så jeg sidder i bilen, overbevist om, at jeg kommer til at få blomster.
and out comes my husband,
Og ud kommer min mand,
and he's got his grocery bag,
og han har posen med varer,
and no flowers.
og ingen blomster.
And I got upset.
Og jeg blev sur.
Wrong, first of all. I'll own that.
Jeg ved godt, at jeg tager fejl for det første.
So he comes in the car, and he goes to give me a kiss, and I turned my face,
Så han kommer hen i bilen og vil give mig et kys, men jeg vender ansigtet.
and he says to me, when I got out of the car, I had a happy wife.
Og så sagde han til mig, at dengang jeg steg ud af bilen, der havde jeg en glad kone.
I got the 5 things on her list, and I got back in the car to an unhappy wife.
Og så kom jeg tilbage i bilen til en sur kone.
He says, I know I didn't do anything wrong.
Han sagde, at han vidste, at han ikke havde gjort noget forkert. Så Så hvad er du ked af det over?
And I sat there knowing I was crazy,
Og jeg sad der og vidste, at jeg var fuldstændig skør.
but I didn't feel like talking about it yet, so I just said, I'm fine.
Men jeg,
I'm doing a whole lot wrong in this story, I will admit that.
jeg gør meget forkert i den her historie, det vil jeg gerne indrømme.
So, my husband isn't one to let me.
Min mand er ikke en, der lader mig sidde og bare surmule.
So he looks at me and he says, you can either tell me what's wrong right now,
Så han så på mig og sagde, du kan enten fortælle mig lige nu, hvad der er galt,
or we're going to go to the party and you're going to be frustrated about something. It will ruin our whole evening and then we'll fight.
til festen, og du kan være utilfreds hele aftenen, og det vil ødelægge hele vores aften, og så kan vi komme hjem og skændes i 4 timer.
So I felt confident in my anger.
Så jeg følte mig sikker i min vrede.
Well, if you must know, I'm a little hurt that you didn't get me flowers.
Så jeg sagde, okay, hvis du absolut skal vide det, så er jeg lidt såret, fordi du ikke købte blomster til mig.
And that's exactly the moment I realized how crazy I was.
Og det var lige præcis det øjeblik, hvor det gik op for mig, hvor skør jeg var.
Frustrated with me.
Så Paul blev frustreret på mig,
And he said a whole lot of things to me that I don't remember.
og han sagde en masse ting til mig, som jeg ikke kan huske.
But he did say this thing that changed the course of our marriage.
Og han sagde den her ene ting.
He looked at me and he said, the day we got married,
Han så på mig og sagde, den dag vi blev gift,
we stood up in front of God, our family, and our friends,
der stod vi foran Gud og vores familie og vores venner.
and you asked me to love you. That's my job now. My job is to love you.
Og det er mit job nu, det er, at jeg skal elske dig.
So you can back off and let me do my job.
Så du kan bare holde dig tilbage og lade mig gøre mit arbejde.
Vi var i en by i USA.
Not being evasive, just don't remember the town.
Jeg kan ikke huske, hvad den hedder.
And a pastor came up afterwards,
Og der kom en præst op til os bagefter.
and he said, I get it.
Og han sagde, jeg forstår det.
You two are married
Paulus
is a metaphor
er en metafor
for God.
for Gud. Nej, ikke Paulus. Paul, hendes mand. Ikke Paulus.
I immediately
Ja, med det samme
called Paul on the phone
ringer jeg til Paul
and told him this.
og fortalte det til ham.
But I think the pastor was right.
Men jeg tror, præsten havde ret.
That God called us his children.
At Gud, han kalder os hans børn.
We were baptized into his name. His job to love us.
Og det er hans arbejde at elske os.
And we get to back off and let him do our job.
Og nogle gange skal vi træde tilbage og lade ham gøre sit arbejde.
Let him do his job.
Lad ham gøre sit arbejde.
Sorry about that. Often I think in the Bible,
Så tit tænker jeg i Bibelen,
we see this lived out.
at vi ser det levet ud.
I'm thinking of the story of Abraham and Sarah.
Jeg tænker på den historie, der er med Abraham og Sara.
In that story,
I den historie,
we're going to have children.
der lover Gud, at de vil få børn.
And I can only imagine
Jeg kan kun forestille mig,
what they were feeling.
hvordan de havde det, hvad de følte.
Abraham was 75 when he was given the promise of descendants
Abraham var 75, da han fik,
when Isaac came.
og han var 100 år gammel, da Isak kom.
I think when God gives us promises like that, where there's this huge span of time,
Jeg tror, at når Gud giver os sådan nogle løfter, hvor der er
it's easy for us to want to put God on our time or our expectations.
så er det nemt for os, at vi vil gerne have, at Gud følger vores skema og vores forventning.
I didn't communicate with my husband that day in the car.
Jeg kommunikerede ikke med min mand den dag i bilen.
To him in any form of healthy way.
Jeg havde den her idé om, hvad jeg gerne ville have, men jeg kommunikerede det ikke til ham på nogen som helst sund måde.
But as soon as he let me down, I was angry with him.
Men lige så snart han skuffede mig, så blev jeg vred på ham.
God gives us
Gud giver os løfter, meget store løfter uden detaljer.
He tells Abraham and Sarah they're going to have children, and they have to wait 25 years, long past the time when they were able to have children.
Gud siger, at de skal vente i 25 år og lang tid på den anden side af, hvor de overhovedet kunne få børn.
I'm sure they thought that God would deliver children to them in a time that made sense, like everybody else that was having children.
Jeg tror, at de var sikre på, at Gud ville give dem børn.
And it makes me think of our relationships as people and what we want from them and expect from them without telling them, and then how that translates over to our relationship with the Lord.
Det får mig til at tænke på vores relationer til dem, og hvordan det kan sammenlignes med vores relation til Gud og vores forventninger til ham.
I think we can each relate to that.
Det tror jeg, vi begge to kan relatere til.
That even though this is a full room,
At selvom det her rum det er fyldt,
we all have that thing that,
Gud han har givet os et løfte om,
but we're still waiting for the promise.
men vi venter stadigvæk på selve løftet.
That the story of Abraham and Sarah,
I historien med Abraham og Sara
it's not just their story,
er det ikke kun deres historie,
but it's our story.
men det er også vores historie.
And can we get that on the screen?
Tidligere blev jeg mindet om det, der står i Johannes evangeliet kapitel 10, vers 10. Tyven kommer kun for at stjæle og slagte og ødelægge. Jeg er kommet for, at de skal have liv og have i overflod.
God gives us this big promise of fulfilling life.
Så Gud giver os det her kæmpe store løfte om at opfylde vores liv.
And that could mean so many different things to each.
Og det kan betyde så mange forskellige ting for hver af os. Det kan se forskelligt ud for hver enkelt af os.
I think there's a difference between specifically wanting certain things
Jeg tror, der er en forskel på at ønske nogle specifikke ting.
like the I had of Paul,
Ligesom den usagte forventning, jeg havde til Paul.
versus how we can live into the big promise of God,
I modsætning til, hvordan vi kan leve i det store løfte fra Gud.
because we can trust his character and the fact that he's.
Fordi vi kan stole på hans karakter og det faktum, at han har aldrig brudt et løfte før.
I can live in the big promise of my husband because he promised to love me, and I cannot hold him back by the things that
Jeg
I'm.
kan leve i det store løfte fra min mand, og jeg kan ikke holde ham tilbage fra det.
I think seeing a picture helps.
Jeg tror, det hjælper at se et billede.
I mean, so often I was picture God's abundant life,
You are not doing a good job then. Han prøver at hjælpe mig med oversættelsen. Just
Full
repeat
life?
yourself.
so often we picture God's full life,
Tit så tænker
and we either picture it too small
og enten forestiller vi os, at det er alt for lille,
or too specific.
eller alt for specifikt.
Throughout all today, there's been water everywhere
Igennem i dag, der har der været vand over det hele.
to remind us of our baptism. Hear this in the background.
Vi har selv den her rampe med vand hernede i baggrunden.
And often we think the abundant life is little,
Og nogle gange så tror vi, at det fulde liv, det er småt.
but it's bigger than we imagine.
Men det er større, end vi kan forestille os.
And it just gets bigger.
Og det bliver bare
And
større og
bigger.
større og større.
And I wonder,
Og jeg tænker på,
has there ever been a point
har der nogensinde været et punkt,
where you didn't put that expectation on Paul, and you just were open to the bigness of the way your husband can love you?
og hvor du bare var åben over for, hvor stor din mands kærlighed kunne være?
I want to take a minute first. And I think that there's a difference between healthy communication
Først så vil jeg gerne lige pointere, at jeg tror, der er en forskel på sund kommunikation, og så hvad jeg gjorde.
like we're not talking about the fact that we need healthy communication in our relationships.
Vi taler ikke bare om, at vi har brug for sund kommunikation i vores...
So I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota,
Jeg bor i Minneapolis, Minnesota,
and I have parents that live 12 hours away,
og jeg har forældre, som bor 12 timer væk.
and I take my children to their home.
Og jeg tager mine børn med hjem til dem hver sommer på ferie.
A few years ago, it was my birthday, so we were going to go and celebrate my birthday at my parents' house.
For nogle år siden så tog vi hen til dem for at fejre min fødselsdag.
But we didn't have any money, and Paul
Paul kunne ikke komme med os.
we need him to work.
Han var nødt til at arbejde.
So for my birthday, all I asked for from my family and friends was money to buy him a plane ticket to come and spend the weekend with us for my birthday.
Så alt hvad jeg ønskede mig til min fødselsdag fra venner og familie, det var at de ville købe.
To which my husband said, "You want to buy me a vacation for your birthday?"
Så til det sagde min mand, så du vil have at jeg skal købe en ferie til din fødselsdag.
So we got enough money, and it was time for him to fly in. It was a Friday afternoon,
Så til at flyve, og det var en fredag eftermiddag.
and his flight got delayed and delayed and delayed, so he didn't get in until late in the night, early in the morning.
Og flyet var bare forsinket mange timer, så vi kom først ind meget sent.
In the morning, I get up really early to go running,
Om morgenen der stod jeg rigtig tidligt op for at gå ud og løbe,
and Paul decided to come with me,
og Paul besluttede sig for at komme med.
and I tried to get him to go back to sleep because I knew that he hadn't gotten a lot of sleep.
Og jeg synes, at
And he said that he wanted to come with me because I bought him for my birthday, so he was going to spend all of his time with me.
og han sagde, at han ville tage med, fordi at jeg havde købt ham for min fødselsdag, så han ville bruge al sin tid sammen med mig.
So getting me food, he was helping take care of the kids.
Så hele weekenden der ville han sørge for, at jeg havde vand og mad, og han ville se efter børnene.
And then we were all getting on the boat. My parents have a boat. They live on the water.
Og så på et tidspunkt skulle
And it was over the 4th of July, so we were going to go watch the fireworks for our big national celebration on the water.
og det var den 4. juli, så vi skulle ud og se fyrværkeri for vores nationaldag.
We're all in our pajamas and on the boat and waiting for Paul.
Vi har alle sammen,
And out comes my husband, decked out in a 3-piece suit, looking very dapper.
og ud kommer min mand i
Handsome.
ja, han ser meget godt ud.
And I looked going.
Og jeg ser på ham og siger, vi skal ud på en båd, hvor er du på vej hen?
And he said, "I know this is my favorite outfit, Andy."
Og han sagde, at jeg ved, det her det er dit yndlingsoutfit, som jeg har på, så jeg ville sørge for, at du havde noget